Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this continuation of this tutorial. In the last video we ended on step number 4, and in this video we start with step number 5. Okay, so step 5 says create a web page called 1732upload.htm, and this web page must work in all browsers and will have a table structure with visible borders and grid lines as shown below. So text shown in bold must be entered onto a web page, okay, and the formatting for each table cell is identified in italics, and you're supposed to replace the text which is in chevrons with answers, image, and candidate details as instructed. So this is the structure of the table that we need to have. So you need to identify how many columns and how many rows that you need. So as you can see, we have about 4 rows. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and we have 1, 2, 3 columns. So this is a 4 by 3 table. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this table structure. So I'm going to use Dreamweaver for creating of this table. Right, so I was getting worried that Dreamweaver was not opening up. So I'm currently running a lot of applications in the background, so my computer seems to be slow. Especially that when you run a lot of Adobe packages, they use a lot of resources. So I'm running my video encoder in the background, encoding the other videos. I'm running Photoshop. I think Photoshop I'm done for now. I can close it, so that we have some space. Okay, so I think let me just close Photoshop. I think we're done with it. If there will be any question that needs us to use Photoshop, we can always come back to that. But yeah, so Dreamweaver has loaded. So this is Photoshop. We're just working with it. Okay, just give me a moment, guys. I seem to be getting mixed up on which window I'm working with. So okay, this is Dreamweaver, and so this is what we're going to use for our web authoring section. Now guys, I must start here by saying that we need first of all to define a folder which is going to be where our site is going to sit. Usually when you work with packages like Dreamweaver and FrontPage and all these other web authoring packages, it is a good idea to define a folder where your website is going to be. That way you can access your website right from your panel here, and all the files that you need actually can be gotten right from here. Okay, of course there will be some other files that you will not be able to get directly, but you go in file and insert them. But for now, I think it will be good for us to define which one is going to be our website area. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you can go on manage sites and actually create a new site. So just say new site. I'm going to call this new site as May June exam, or May June 2017, and then I need to define the folder where this site is residing. Now remember, in the question paper we were told to create a folder where we place some files, and this is where we point Dreamweaver to that folder to say, well, our website files are actually sitting in this folder that we created. So I'm just going to select this folder, okay, and this one is going to be our work area. Okay, so save it, and then once you have this folder, you will see the website name will be down here, but inside here you'll be able to see now the files that we have been working with in CSS. Okay, so that's very important. So once you have this, now you can define a new file if you want. So this is going to be a new HTML file, and let's go back to the question, and then you can come here and say the HTML file is supposed to be 17upload.htm. Okay, so just copy that, and let's go to Dreamweaver. Now the name of this file actually was supposed to be, we're supposed to rename it where when we put it there. So let me just put that and rename it, okay, to .htm, okay. And so this is the file that we have just created. Now there are many ways that you guys can do this, but I'm just trying to show you that, I mean, there's a faster way that you can do this once you have your site, and you can be working right from here. So I've created this file, and if you go to my folder, once I save it, you will see that this is 1732 upload, but I created it from Dreamweaver. So this is how powerful this feature can be. Okay, so go ahead and double click on the file to load it. You notice that it is a blank file. Okay, now for some of you that may not be familiar with Dreamweaver, you have got the code, the split, and the design view, just like in front page, except that in front page these three were actually found at the bottom here, but the layout is basically the same. So I like to work with split, where I have code at the bottom and design on top. Okay, so this one is fine. So let's go to the question paper and see what we're supposed to do now. So we're supposed to create a table of this structure. So let's just go ahead and create a table with 4 rows and 3 columns. So go to insert. This time around, I think we are inserting, let's see, a table. And then our table is supposed to be 4 rows and 3 columns. For the sake of clarity, please just make sure that it is set to 100% width, okay? Because if you've not been told the dimension of the table from HTML code, better leave it at 100% and leave it at that, okay? Then the rest of the things you can modify them from CSS, okay? So just say okay, and you see that you have a table right there. Now this table structure has all the cells merged on top, so just select all the cells on top and go to table and actually merge the cells, and then also it has these cells merged, okay. So just select all these cells and actually go to table and merge them, and it has these cells merged. Go to table and merge them. So it should take the structure of the paper that we have here. So we have the first row merged, and then this second row but last column, we have them merged, and then this one, the last row, and we have the first 2 columns merged, okay. So then we're supposed to put in this text. So what I'm going to do is just copy this text for the sake of time and paste it right in my document. So just go ahead and paste that. Then you need to format this as style. Let me just verify that. You need to format it as style H1. So come here and format this one as style H1. So right click and select let me see, yeah, paragraph format, and select H1. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the other one. So the other one is this one. Copy it and paste it in there, and the other one is this one. Now guys, I'm copying these because I don't have enough time to type them, but you guys, you're supposed to type them, okay. So you're supposed to type them as they are. So here are 3, just there. Go to the next line. Things needed, go to the next line. To upload, and go to the next line, and so on and so forth, okay. Please don't just type them in one line. Just copy them as they are, or type them as they are, okay. Next, paste them in there. Then next, we're supposed to get this other one. So website created by, copy it and paste it in our web page, okay. And then the rest of the details, you can populate them. Website created by, supposed to be details. Let's see, your name, center number, and candidate number. So just go ahead and put Chikasa Evans, ZM 556 and 0001, okay. Now we're supposed to format these as H3. So this one H3, this one H3, this one H3. So go ahead and get all these. So format this one and this one as well as this one. Okay, let's start with these two first of all. Format them as H3, and then get this one also, format it as H3 as well. Okay, next we are supposed to place the image that is saved in step 4, okay, which is the image that we just got from by resizing that. So place this image here. So right here you can just go to insert and then image, and then select this, the image that we saved in step 4. Get it like that, and you notice that it's a very large image. So we are told that this image should actually be 200 pixels wide. Okay, so make sure that it is 200 pixels wide. So right click and go to the properties for this image. Okay, so let's see. For some reason my properties are not showing. Okay, they are shown on top, so I was almost getting where is the property bar? It's supposed to hang around there. Okay, so what you need to do is to make sure that this lock here means that you are locking aspect ratio. Okay, so that when you change this to 200, automatically the height should also change. If you do not have this locked here, then the image will be distorted when you change that. Okay, so that is perfectly fine. Then the next thing that question say that we're supposed to add an alternative an appropriate alternative text to this image. Okay, so let's add the text right from there. So type image of a switch. Okay, this is a switch, image of a switch, and that should be perfectly fine. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do now is to just get away from here. Just click around the code and you should see that it adjusts perfectly fine. Next thing that we are going to do is to we come where, let me see, come here. The acronym FTP stands for, and then enter your answer to question 6 here. So, and format it as style H2. So let's look at question 6. Replace the text, enter your answer to question 6 here with the meaning of FTP, and send this as set this as style H2. So you guys, you know that FTP stands for file transfer protocol, and it's actually the protocol that you use to send files over the internet. Okay, so there are many protocols that exist on the internet, but this one is specifically tailored for sending of files from a host computer to a client computer. Okay, so this one stands for file transfer protocol, and we need to format this as style H2. Okay, next, here are 3 things needed to upload and publish the content of a website using FTP. So what we need to do is to come back here. Where am I now? I'm going just throughout all the Adobe applications. I need to come back to the question paper and then enter your answers to question 7 here. So let's go to question 7. So we're supposed to set this as a numbered list 1, 2, 3. So question 7 says replace the text, enter your answers to question 7 here with a numbered list in your own words of 3 or more requirements for uploading and publishing the contents of a website using FTP. Okay, so attach the style sheet. That will be step 8. So let's go ahead and look at some of the things, the requirements that you need when you are trying to upload a website. Now you guys, I must say from here that this you should have learned about it in web authoring section. If you haven't, please, I encourage you to study this one. It's very important. Okay, so in order for you to upload a file or a your web pages onto a website, so that, or onto a web server rather, so that they can be accessible on the internet or via the web browser, you need first of all to have a site. Okay, a site would be more like a folder where your files are. Okay, so in our case, we put our folder in our files in a folder which we're told to create 1732. Remember that folder .html underscore html. Remember that folder. So we need to first we need to create a folder where our web pages will reside. Okay, will reside. Okay, so we need to do that. We need to create a web page. Then we need to have a client FTP software. Okay, now this software is what you guys are going to be using to in order to be uploading your web file, your web pages. Dreamweaver has got its own client package where you guys can upload right from Dreamweaver. You can upload onto a web server, and there are also other dedicated web rather FTP software that you can use in order to publish your website. Okay, so you have one of the most common one, which is a free one. It's called FileZilla, I think, FileZilla also, and you can use that one also to as FTP client software. Okay, then you need to know the hosts. Okay, the hosts computer IP address. Okay, then we also need to know the port number for the hosts, and then the other thing that you need, so you need to know, first of all, you should have a folder waiting. Then you should have a client FTP software. You need to know the host computer address or the URL or something like equivalent. You need also to know the port number for the host computer, and then you need to have credentials. So you sign up with these companies that do host. They'll give you username and password. So we need, let's say, lastly, we need a username and password to log in to the host server. Okay, so these will be enough. So we're told to format these as bullets. Okay, so you need to format these as bullets. Okay, so what you need to do is just go on let's see, style, no, font, no, list, and go on ordered list, because you're supposed to have them as 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So they need to be ordered list. If they were supposed to be an ordered list, more like bullets, like round bullets, square bullets and stuff like that, then you go for an ordered list. But for now, go for for ordered list, and you see that they'll be placed in terms of numbers. Okay, so the next thing that we are supposed to do according to the question paper is to, okay, so we are done with all of these. So what we need to do now is to attach the style sheet 1732 web.css to your web page. So go here and go to this one, go to insert, and then go to, is it insert? No, let's go to let's see, I'm looking for style sheet. Where? Okay, it's been long. I used Dreamweaver. I've even forgotten where to find some of the windows that I or some of the features, or where to get some of the features that I need for my CSS. Okay, so let me see, view, edit. Just give me a moment, guys. I need to find exactly where I can get my stylesheet link. Okay, so let's see. This is the HTML section. I don't think there's anything here. Please bear with me, guys. It's been long I used HTML, rather not HTML. It's been long I used Dreamweaver, so some of the layouts I'll need to. Okay, so there you go. CSS attach style sheet, and browse to where your style sheet is. So the style sheet in question is supposed to be 1732 web. Attach it, and then you need to attach it as a link. Okay, so you're not importing the style sheet inside the web page, so you need to attach it as a link. Okay, and say okay, and you notice that the style sheet has actually been attached. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to end here for this video, and I'll continue in the next video with step number 9. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video shortly.